Welcome to the RevitalizeMD podcast channel with me, your host, Dr. Debra Durst, and my co-host.
Hey guys, Farideh Golembiewski, nurse practitioner here at RevitalizeMD.
So it is that time of year where I'm kind of looking at things to improve in learning, and we like to share those things. And again, sometimes we go through this on a daily basis, but I want to really focus in and find some good facts that support brain foods. And so, what kind of foods will actually increase your brain power,
And we
and
got a
how
list
quickly you
today.
can think. We have a list, and so I think that I did one of the videos for this too, in addition to the studies that we will pull. And it was a Jim Quick video, and I was already reading his book Limitless. And so it was an interesting video with tips because, again, he teaches you how to learn faster. And so when I saw that he was actually the source of the video, I loved watching it just for ideas. And it was quite entertaining, I must say.
It was even more entertaining to watch her reteach it
Yeah, I retaught him, but I
to
guarantee
our
that if
camera
they
guy.
actually were listening to me, which is a question, or were they would actually not forget him either. So,
Oh no, there's some I'll remember forever.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I love that part. So, we'll talk about specific foods. We'll talk about food groups. What is the brain? What's in it? What's it made up of? And then what are some other modulators in addition to food that you might use to just increase, brain processing? Who doesn't want to learn faster, think faster, have more tabs open?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know I run on a lot of tabs.
Yes, you do. That is true. I mean, I thought I ran on a lot of tabs, but you should see your tabs open on the computer. It's like sometimes it's so small, and she will remember which one
Because it's
is.
organization of the brain. There is an order to the chaos.
Yes, I am surprised
Because I eat
sometimes
all these
that.
brain boosting foods.
Yes. Well, when we talk about, yeah, um, not just in the order that talked about them or in the combination, but basically, what is the brain made of? So when we're talking about the brain cells, we're talking about neurons in the brain. 86 billion neurons. And what I do I'm never like, I'm
Think about that
unlimited in my
number.
amazement of the brain.
And then we
Like,
only use such a small amount.
yeah, and it is like the most like felt well-oiled, like functioning machine, of all of our tech devices. This brain is just amazing. And so those neurons, 86 billion neurons, and connected by, again, glial cells that are protecting. And then you have that connection in between them. And so those neural connections, we used to just think that those were just basically like fillers in between the neurons, but there's lots of connections. And so there's a lot of fat that supports that neuron and the membrane of the neuron and the connections. And the brain's made up of a lot of water, but structural fat
Yeah.
there.
So what are some of those tissue components? So you said fat, water.
As far as makeup,
Yeah.
and so the neurons, and you got the glial cells, but you have protein, you have water, you have fats,
Yeah.
and you talk about energy and what's needed in the brain, but also what are those nutrients that you need
Yeah.
to, in addition to. So yeah, micronutrients are there, carbohydrates, fats,
Carbohydrates,
yeah,
fats, all
structural
of it.
fats, all of it. But water and structural fats make up a huge component of it. So when we're going to talk about brain foods and supplements that you do, a lot of it does talk about that. So anyhow, so what are some of the foods that would help? So basically, I know
Avocados.
avocados. It was a great video for memorizing. And so I used to have people in school that would make up these stories that would help them remember, and other people would make up mnemonics. It never worked for me because the
I did
mnemonic,
mnemonics through nursing school.
it
It
didn't work.
helped.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, it didn't for me. I'd forget what the mnemonic was and then what it stood for. So it never worked for me.
The nursing
And
books, they're visuals.
yeah,
That helps.
yeah, well, I'm a visual learner, so if I could actually visualize a picture,
Yeah.
it would be better. But sometimes I was tired and my creativity wasn't the strongest for actually like creating a visual
Yeah.
to remember things. So basically, I liked the Jump Quick video.
Yeah.
because basically avocados being one of them. And so he talked about the different parts of your body, and you should really, it's quite entertaining, and
Associating a
you
food
won't.
with that part of your body.
Well, and so that
That
when you're going through the grocery store, you don't need to remember a list, that you can just think about those brain foods that if they're going to help you think faster, then they're vital. So
yeah,
basically, avocados.
yeah,
And so that would be a healthy fat, right? And you have lots of structural fat in your brain.
yeah. And then you've
And
got
so
blueberries,
blueberries, see, you're remembering them all.
broccoli,
Yeah, broccoli,
yeah,
olive oil, which is another one. So that is one that you want to keep in mind.
eggs, and green leafy
See?
greens.
Yeah, and then
Green leafy greens,
salmon or fish would be another one for those.
turmeric,
Turmeric, yeah, and
uh,
almonds
dark chocolate.
and dark chocolate.
I like that one.
And yeah, it is. I'm giggling because of the actual video and where the dark chocolate on your body was like located for memory. But anyhow, but those are key foods. And if you look at those from a class standpoint, you're talking about healthy fats for a lot of those and omega 3s. And so fish oil and
Yeah,
omega 3s. So you're talking about omega 3s, omega 6s. Most omega 6s, you have that in your diet, but omega 3s, a lot of people don't get.
yeah.
And so when
So you
you're
got to supplement
eating, yeah, when you're eating olive oil, you are incorporating that into your diet
or salmon.
and salmon, and then you're going to get more of that omega 3 that you need. And so if not, then it's a recommended supplement, which is, the other category. And so you want to think about supplements and omega 3 supplements. And if you can't take like the fish oils, then potentially a krill oil, but at least greater than 1.5 grams a day is usually recommended. So if you just think about how important that is, not only for skin, because it helps with skin, but your
Yeah.
brain. Like your brain function, cardiovascular health, it's
I'm gonna
important
say
for
your lipid
decreasing
profile for your
inflammation.
cholesterol.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does so much for you. So that's something to think about, omega 3s. And then when you're thinking about all those other foods, you're really talking about a lot of different supplements, B vitamins, antioxidants, choline, magnesium, zinc,
Yep.
iron. It has all of those in there. Vitamin D, and vitamin D is a key
It's
component for
huge.
that, for brain health, but also for immunity,
Immunity,
you
bone
know,
health.
anti-cancer, and sometimes often weight loss too. So those are ingredients that you're going to find in those foods that we mentioned, but then you can always also supplement with supplements that will actually get some of those other nutrients if you're not getting a healthy diet. But highly recommend the healthy diet. But what are some other lifestyle modulators that you can actually do to improve your brain health?
I'm always going to say exercise and sleep.
Exercise and sleep, big
Those are
thing.
always at the top of the list.
Yes.
Even just 30 minutes a day, just just a little bit of cardiovascular, a little bit of resistance training can go a really long way.
Yeah. And so there is a lot of literature to support at least maybe 150 to 180 zone 2, so that you're
Mm.
active in that zone 2 cardio. And obviously, as we get older, resistance training is very important for maintaining muscle
Yes.
mass.
Don't just be a
Yeah,
cardio bunny.
no.
Do resistance training as well.
Yes, definitely important when you start to hit perimenopause and menopause. Sleep is huge,
Across
if,
the board,
yeah, for
you've
brain
got to
health.
have good sleep health and hygiene.
Yeah. And I would say that the next real modulator is stress management, because if cortisol increases, your brain health will decrease. And so that is a catabolic hormone. So if you think about flight or fight, you go into that mode when you're stressed, and that is what you want in the moment, but you don't want that sustained. And when it's sustained, it's catabolic, it breaks things down. So just think about that brain and the healthy cells that you need there, and it'll break that down.
Yep.
So
The
stress
next one
management.
is avoiding neurotoxins. So, alcohol, that's a big one. It
Yeah.
has such a negative effect. So, alcohol, cigarettes, recreational drug use, all of it.
Yeah. All of that. And no matter how you spell it out, alcohol is a toxin.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter. And again, there's, a study to show that at least even a moderate amount, which we didn't know, a moderate amount, which is one drink a night on average. So if you had 7 drinks at one time, or just one that averaged over one drink a night, does decrease your brain, size and function. So basically,
Think
it
about that.
decreases that
Just one drink on
size of,
average.
yeah. So we knew that more severe alcohol can have brain, effects such as that and shrinking brain tissue, but we didn't know
And we
that
knew
to
about
be
it for
moderate.
pregnant women because we stress don't drink when you're pregnant.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So anyhow, but that's the big thing is like the different foods, the classes they fall into, the lifestyle things that you can do to modulate that brain health and brain boosting. And who doesn't want to be able to think faster, have more tabs open,
Mhm.
and to just feel better overall? Because those dietary changes, those supplements, and those lifestyle changes can also improve how you feel and your mood. So,
Yeah. And I
so
think the only other thing we didn't talk about is things to stay away from, like processed foods
oh yeah,
and refined sugars and
yeah.
things like that. So just kind of can't talk about healthy foods without saying to stay away from the
True.
others.
We did talk just about all the other things, the
Yeah.
alcohol, the
Yep.
drugs, the cigarettes, and then, but yes, no, I agree with you.
Yep.
If you just stay in the perimeter of the grocery store, then you're already better off. And that's just a simple, like little fact. Like just stay around the outside. Everything processed is in the center.
Yep.
And so just think about that. All right, but anyhow, I'm willing to deep dive into anything else. I would love to hear if there's something that you're doing that we didn't mention that we want to learn more about. Please drop that in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and let us know if you want to talk about anything else because we're willing to deep dive into anything wellness or sexual wellness.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.